Hey, what's up guys? Tim here. So in today's tutorial, we're learning how to tie the Paralix Paracord Bracelet. And that is this pattern and weave here. So originally, when I was making this bracelet, I was, I guess, under the wrong impression, and I thought this was the Crooked River bar, originally designed by J.D. Lenson. Okay, but this turns out it's not. It's very similar to the Crooked River bar, but this is actually called the Paralix, and I'll annotate the name of the designer down below because their name escapes me right now. But anyways, yeah, it looks very similar to the Crooked River bar, but at the same time it's a little different. It's a really nice pattern. This kind of almost like a DNA helix of the one color going all down the bar there. So it looks really nice. That's the back side there. And of course we're doing the loop and knot method of closure. Of course you could do this with buckles as well. Very similar to the Cobra stitch, so if you're unsure of how to do this with buckles, you can refer to any tutorial out there that tells you how to do the Cobra stitch with buckles. It should be the same thing. Alright, so that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Okay guys, so I got my paracord ready. I'm going to start off showing you buckles, and then we're going to transition over to the knot and loop, so by the end of this video you'll know how to do both. Okay, so in terms of paracord, I've got burgundy and moss color. I've got 4.5 feet of each, and I got my 1/2 inch buckle. For knot and loop method, you'll only need 3.5 feet of each, and just another couple feet for your core. Okay, so let's start off by getting our paracord onto the buckle. I'm going to use the inner strand trick like this. If you don't have one of the inner strands pulled out or a thin string, you can just use something pointy to shove the cord through. So I'm going to feed that through the top of the buckle. Remember, that's the top of the curved part. I'm just going to pull this through like that. Okay, now we're going to do our cow's hitch, which is, again, we just pull all our working strands through here, like that, and then we pull it shut. And of course, this is good because it hides the melted seam. Okay, so that's where you should be. Now we're going to bring our strands all the way around to the other side. And remember to keep them on their respective sides. So in this case, I've got the burgundy to my left and the moss to my right. So I'm going to make sure we don't mess those up. And of course, I've pressed flat my paracord ends so that they will go through the buckle easily. Okay, so we got both ends through. Just pull all this through. Of course, this is where you would measure your size, right? This is where you would determine the size of your bracelet, like this. Okay. And then now we can start the weave. Okay, so it's pretty simple, this one. It's almost like the variation of a Solomon stitch. So we're going to start off with our lead strand, and we're going to do the burgundy across. We're going to start off with a single Cobra stitch. I find doing this helps lock everything down, just so that it makes it easy. Okay, so that was the this cord over the core, and then this one behind. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the Cobra stitch, of course. Alright, so at this point we can start our main weave. Okay, so now for knot and loop, I've got my stopper knot tied off. I will annotate this tutorial always at the end and down below in the description. Okay, so I've got my length set. Now we're going to start off for knot and loop. It's going to be almost the same thing. We have our 0.5 inch loop up top. We're going to put our working strands behind, and we're going to start off again with just a single Cobra stitch. Okay, so this is going to lock everything down. We do it the exact same way as we did the other time. Make sure you don't get twisted like that. Okay, and then we're going to make our loop. Okay, so now whether you're doing buckles or knot loop, you should be at this point. Okay. Okay, so from here you're going to take your lead strand you're going to kind of just make an S like this that goes across the core. And then you're going to take your opposite strand, and you're going to go underneath here and through the belly of the S, like that. Okay? And then you're just going to cinch everything shut. This is probably the trickiest part. Okay, so from here, you're going to start with your lead strand. You're going to kind of make an S like this, right? Just across your core. And then you're going to take your opposite strand. You're going to go underneath everything. And you're going to go through the belly of the S like this. And also make sure you go underneath this strand here. Okay, so let me get it in position for you. That's what it should look like this. All right, and then you're going to pull everything through. Okay, if you get confused, you can pause it right here, like that. Right, and then we're going to cinch everything shut, like this. Okay, make sure you pull all the excess out. Like that. So you've got this one diagonal strand like this. Okay. Then next you're just going to do 2 cobra stitches. Okay. So we're going to again do our same lead strand. It's 1 cobra knot. Like that. And then we're going to do 1 more. Like that. Okay, so that is kind of the first series in the crooked river knots. Okay, so it's that 1 diagonal knot and then 2 cobra stitches. And again, now we're just going to repeat the cycle, okay? I'm going to do the S shape. I'm going to go underneath and through the S like that. And then we're going to pull it shut. And that's basically it. After this, we repeat the 2 cobra stitches, and that's the cycle. Okay, this one is a little finicky. This kind of knot here, of course, will be easier if you're on a jig. All right, and then again, 2 cobra stitches. 1 and 2. All right, so that's it. That is the cycle. So you just keep repeating that. You're going to continue weaving down your spine. And of course it's the same for the buckles. You're just going to keep going until you reach the end. Alright, I'm done weaving. Okay, woven all the way down my core. So as you can see, I kind of got lucky in that I finished my diagonal knot and then I had 2 last cobra stitches. And it worked out perfectly because it finished right where I needed to finish. So for you, depending on the length, you may not end up so perfectly. You might end up, after a diagonal knot or just 1 of the cobra stitches. But regardless of that, you should be able to just, stop where you are, and then you can just snip and singe the excess. Okay. So I actually got a little bit of excess, so you can probably subtract a bit of the length that I suggested. Anyways, I'm going to snip and singe the ends of my stopper knot as well as the sides, and then we'll be finished. Alright, and there we have it, guys. We are done. So I have snipped off the excess paracord, finished up my stopper knot, and we are finished. So I want to give you guys one last look again at this Paralix Paracord Bracelet. Really nice weave, really interesting pattern on it. I'm always a fan of those patterns where when you look at it from far away you can really see a defined shape or pattern. So pretty nice. Alright, so again, this has been the Paralix Paracord Bracelet tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have any comments or questions, if there's anything you're unsure of, please do leave a comment down below. Be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, that's about it. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye.